Welcome to Tiny Rails, the fun game with a train. And where I left it last time, I was tootling somewhere around China. Chengdu, something like that I was headed to next. Collecting cargo for the quest with Okada and Huan, or however you pronounce these people's names, so they can go build some kind of specialised robot or specialised something as part of the main quest. And I'm now back under steam power as I changed my train in the last episode. Chengdu, that was it. And from there, I need to set a waypoint that goes down to Kunming? Something like that. To do the next part of the quest. But before I do that, I will drop off a little bit of cargo here and pick up some more cargo in exchange. Off I go. Another 410 miles to go. I have 3 cars on the front which I'm trying to level up so I can then replace them with 3 different cars, as they're the ones I tend to use. These 3 cars to do this with. I suppose I could do that one as well, but I can stay there because they're the ones that are most visible on the screen, because they're the ones which I tend to pretty much have something like this sort of view, so you can only see pretty much the first 3 cars most of the time. But let me swap the map to wherever I am. There we go. That's it. I'm buying a light emitting diode, Asia Chapter 2-8, and I really would like to finish this quest because it's not so much it's been going on a while, it's the amount of travelling you have to do for this quest. It makes it feel like it's going on for quite some time, because I've got no idea where it's going to send me after I get to the next station. I do have 250 bits of cargo on my train, most of which is applicable to China. So the odds are I'll go through somewhere where I can use some of it. Let's have a quick burst of speed. Collect the money from that wonderful little food car that I've got attached to my train. Completing other jobs along the way. Okay, I need space for 55. I'm not going to have space for 55. Well, I can dump the replica swords because I don't need those. Okay, I want the rest of it. Okay, we'll dump that. That should give me enough space, maybe, for that? Not quite. Alright, we'll dump the pears. And we'll dump the bamboo. Okay, and back to the story. Lance, why did you two break up? You seem like such a good match. Okada, can you keep a secret? Huan, are you sure about this, Okada? It's Lance, Huan. He's a friend. I can keep a secret. We never broke up. Our fathers think we broke up. We've been secretly dating. Well, that is awesome news. Also, at TrainCon, we plan to unveil our new company together. What? We've decided to leave Cherry Bloom and China Flower to start our own company. Eventually, we'll marry, too. TrainCon just got way more interesting. Keep it a secret, Lance. No one in the world knows this. I will keep this locked up like Fort Knox. Okay. So, I'll collect the reward for collecting that. And now I've got to make a stop at Beijing. Now, I've collected money from a job I've completed as well. Any other jobs? Yes, as I mentioned in previous episodes, when you're going through China or Russia or America, because the distances are so large, if you're doing a load of mileage jobs, you tend to complete quite a lot of them, which is quite nice for the cash balance. However, it does become mildly user intensive. Okay, that's chopsticks. I know I'm going up there. I'm just think of a best route I can go to drop off cargo. None of them are going to be particularly good. Alright, well we'll just see what it tells me is the best route to Beijing. Okay, back the way I came. So back to Chengdu. Well, I've got a little bit of cash. Oh, more jobs completed. I'll get to them in a minute. I could up the max passengers, or I could up my vault for upgrades. I've got the speed maxed, cargo maxed, and the cars maxed, and there's something in the way. On the bright side, it just gave me a load of kimonos from that cow, where I'm heading, Beijing, which wants kimonos as its cargo or resource cargo of choice. So that's always a bonus. It's another 10,000 earned. Now back to another 5,000 in about another 20 odd miles. That's right, no, that's, yeah, about another 2 miles now. Questioning myself on doing basic mathematics there. Okay. Have a burst of speed. I'm back up to just over 200,000. Plus whatever's in the caboose, which I don't imagine is that much because it hasn't been that long since I last emptied the caboose. Okay, yeah, I've just been here, so there's nothing here that's going to be useful, so we'll just move on. I will go look in the caboose and see what's in there. Oh, 62,000. Not too shabby. So, as is the norm with every episode, I will see what I can get out of the Gumball machine. A steampunk car. Okay, apparently I've already had steampunk cars. And this one. A steam passenger car. Okay, I got the steam cargo car, I think, last time. So, there's one new car. Oh, there's a plane flying overhead that'll drop me a bit of cargo. Okay, I'll complete another job. I will say this game is certainly nice and relaxing after a, well, less than hectic day in the office, I must admit. After a long day in the office, as they frequently are these days, it's nice to come home and not have to truly think too much about the game you're playing and not having to strategize too much. I'm not trying to control armies or work my way through dungeons or fight aliens. This is quite an enjoyable way to relax. I'll buy all the chopsticks, because I know they're useful. The hand fans are not. There is nowhere that currently requires hand fans. There may be later, when I open new areas. Another 400 odd miles to the next wonderful place, which I can't afford to buy or upgrade. There's a lot of places that cost 500,000, and even places where I could buy the basic level. The next level is 500,000. So to fully upgrade China is going to be Is that the place that requires... Oh no, that requires lotus blossoms. That requires corn. That requires something else. That requires coffee. That requires normal tea. Where's the place that requires green tea? That requires some rice. Strawberries. Nope. There is a place that requires green tea and I'm carrying a load of it. I just don't remember where it is. Ah, it's over there. Okay. Shanghai, strangely enough. Okay. I must make a visit to Shanghai at some point and drop off a load of green tea. So I'm carrying an excess of it, I believe. 54 units of it. Probably the biggest amount of anything I'm currently carrying. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of the place I'm arriving at. Yes, I do know my limitations with pronunciation. This wants coal. I don't have any coal, but I can get some more kimonos. I'll get the origami. I'll take the bamboo, it's cheap. Neat incense. I'm about to get rid of 43 kimonos, so... well, in 2 stations' time, I think. And I've completed at least one other job. Possibly 2. Yep. Make that 3, because I've just completed another job. I'm looking for replacements for the jobs I've completed. You keep seeing jobs like collect 10 passengers in Mexico or something else in a certain area. I wish they would tailor this more to, if they're going to give you jobs like that, I wish it'd be somewhere in the region or in the nearby regions of where you are, not one on the other side of the world. Not that it's that difficult to get back to the other side of the world. There are places I can take a boat. But it would be nice if the jobs that are designed for example, this one, buy orange cargo from USA West. Well, it would be nice if it, pointed me towards Russia or Europe, because at least they're within reasonable distance of where I am. Not on the other side of the world. Okay, I can get some instant ramen, which means I can buy some more chopsticks. Pocket games. And I'll take some of the bamboo. And off we go to Beijing! Looks like my train needs a bit of a clean repair again. And that's a nice short hop to Beijing. And ow, my nose itches. Yes, I know that's not part of the game, but... Naito, I told you didn't have anything to do with the hacks. How dare you accuse me and my company? Hanzo, you've been wanting us out of the way since day one. Our own robots have been hacked, you fool. How do you know? How do I know you didn't hack us to show the world our robotics cannot be trusted? We would never stoop so low. China Flower can easily make superior robots any day. These are Okada and Huan's parents. Ha! Your AI could barely move a battle bot in the arena games. Stop it, both of you! Great, they're at it again. Break it up! Saito, he's the cop. Everyone, we have some information on the hacks. We believe the culprits are a hacker duo Tendo and Mitsu. Shibata, another cop. We don't know why they're doing this. You might have seen Mitsu. He does the grunt work. Seems he plants the hacker robots, while Tendo activates the code from a remote location. Interesting. We have to find them. Hey, what is that on the video screen? Tendo, this is a message from Thornweaver. We are everywhere. That's the guy we kept seeing before the hacks happened. We've grown tired of robots replacing the working class. Your robots are replacing jobs that our families relied on. Now, they have nothing and live in the slums. We took it upon ourselves to remove these robots so families like ours can go back to work. I have a signal. It's pretty strong. We should get out of here. Keep them distracted, Okada. Crew, let's get moving. Okay. Let me collect that. Okay, stop at Caxgar next. Yes, and that's probably another horrible pronunciation by me. But before I do, I have kimonos to drop off. And more bamboos and eggs. And kendamas and chopsticks to pick up. Oh, and some incense. And some pocket games. Jeez, there's anything that isn't in this place. More instant ramen origami. I almost refilled my car. Okay. So I need to know where I'm going next. Okay. A long way away. But we'll see if we can get there. That wasn't intentional. Off we go! Nice. Scenic journey with an obstruction. A log. I'm actually starting to wonder what game I should also play. I am playing StarCraft Remastered when I get the time, but there's a weekend coming up and I haven't decided what other game of mine I want to play next. I did pick up, I don't know, half a dozen to a dozen games in the Steam Winter Sale, so I might try one of those, or I might find something that's been in my library for a while to play next. I haven't decided yet. I did look at a couple of games that a couple of people suggested. One was a theme park type game, I forget the name of it off the top of my head. And one was Polar Express, but for a game that doesn't look that thrilling to me, but I can't find it locally, so I'd have to order it. It was going to cost about $40, and so I decided I'll give Polar Express a bit of a skip for now. Maybe if I can find a cheap copy of it, I will pick it up at some point. Okay, I'm full of cargo. Any of it completely useless? No. Okay, we'll just continue onwards. So, yeah, like I say, I'm not sure what I'm going to play next / as well as this. Because this does take up quite a bit of my time. It's not the bits I record which take up so much time. It's the bits I don't record when I need, as I did at one point, I needed to get 4.5 million gold so I could upgrade all the cities in Japan to a level so I could complete that area. And collecting the resources and then filling up towns with the resources they want, or building stations in Africa. Well, I have to get the red bricks from Europe, wood windows from Japan, the lumber from Canada, the aluminium from Europe or Africa, and now I also know I need plastic windows, which are also in Canada. So it takes a while to go get this stuff, put it in a depot, make sure they've got enough space in the depot, then get back to Africa to build stuff, and then I have to keep it around because I'm going to need it in South America or Latin America at some point. And when you're trying to fill up the resource demands in Russia, it's not difficult to do because most of the stuff is relatively local. Some is American sourced, but the distances do take a bit of time to cover. So it's very easy to spend quite a bit of time in this game trying to fill resource demands for various stations. I don't have whatever you want, and I don't have any space, so we'll just continue straight on. Hence, finding time to play other games whilst playing this one and recording this one can be a bit of a challenge, but I need to find another game to play which will keep me amused and allow me to record it and upload it. I just haven't decided what that's going to be yet. I could complete the additional scenarios of Train Valley 2, but playing one train game at a time I think is probably enough for me. I do tend to prefer not to have multiple train games going at the same time, just for variety. Now I've got the hiccups. Always wonderful. So yeah, I'm trying to decide / think of a game that I want to play currently. So feel free to suggest something. Like I say, I always listen. I do investigate the games that people suggest. I don't necessarily always play them. Or I don't always play them. I don't necessarily agree that some of the games are games that I'm going to enjoy. However, the two people that suggested this one, Jess Alexander, and I do apologise, I forgot the name of the second person that suggested this game. This seems to become one of the more popular games on my channel that people actually watch episodes of. And when I first played it without recording it, it didn't seem like something that was that exciting to record for people to watch, but apparently I was wrong. It's not unusual for me to be wrong, although I don't always admit being wrong. I'm English. We're arrogant like that. We're arrogant in lots of ways, being English. We do enjoy thinking we're superior to anybody and everybody, and we're frequently wrong, but doesn't stop us having our delusions of grandeur, because you got to have something. We don't have an empire anymore. We don't have, well, pretty much we don't have much of a country left by the time they finish with Brexit. Struth, can anybody make a bigger mess of that? You know, I've got to have my illusions that my nation is good at something. We're not good at sport anymore, as has been proven in various World Cups, cricket competitions, rugby, you name it, the Olympics, pretty much any sport. We're not great at any of them compared to the rest of the world, so we can look back on the good old days in England and say what once was, and we take our arrogance from history. Because, yeah, we're struggling to do something great in the modern world. Although, having said that, if you watch, was it Planet Earth or Blue Planet, or a lot of the BBC TV shows, then we do still produce quality television, which is nice. It's always nice to have a claim to fame, which does remind me the next series of Death in Paradise is about to start, I think this week, so I'm going to cut out space in my schedule to watch that. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm 4 short from completing the resource requirements of this place. Take the origami. Take that. Yes, apparently I've got a lot of green tea. I need to make a trip to Shanghai. Take the eggs. And I'll take them. So yes, I must admit, as a wonderful nation, we tend to be excessively arrogant about our place in the world, which, from a small island nation that is breaking itself apart and has had no real successes by itself in at least 3 decades, it's kind of hard to really sustain the arrogance with any kind of fact to back it up. Doesn't mean we won't do it, but it can frequently seem a tad ridiculous. You know, we tend to still look back in history as to, you know, we beat the French in 1812. You know, don't want to say what we say about the Germans, but they are far more successful in the modern. Well, not the French, but the Germans are far more successful in the modern world than we are. We tend to look down on the Americans because we once owned the place, or large parts of it. However, that was 270 odd years ago. In our history, 270 years is kind of like last week. But doesn't actually make it something that happened in my lifetime, so doesn't really mean that I should be arrogant about it. However, doesn't mean it doesn't annoy the Americans if I am arrogant about it, hence I do it. Yeah, there is frequently no reason for arrogance, but sometimes it's just fun. Anyway, I was just off on a philosophical musing because this journey is taking a little while. Yeah. Bamboo, we'll take your origami. Take it. Actually, we'll take that. Yeah. Pocket games, they're always useful. Fine, we'll take that one. It doesn't matter what else there is. Okay. Finally, on the last leg towards CASysprog. Probably a good time to give the train another clean. Get the money out the caboose. $54,000 of it. It all adds up. And then see what job it is I just completed. Another 5,000 added to the coffers. Oh, and apparently there's an obstruction in the way. Oh, a log. And that completes another couple of jobs. Excuse me. Make that 3, at least. Yep, 3. That got me another 60,000. Better in my pocket than in someone else's. I've got to admit, I do tend to have a rather blasé attitude towards money, not just in this game, but generally. For which I'd like to thank one of my old bosses for that one. We were having a conversation at some point, and as you pointed out, when people get upset with what their colleagues earn, unless the colleagues are a complete incompetent and not doing anything like the job that they should be doing, then why worry about what anybody else is getting paid as long as you're happy with the amount you're getting paid? And I thought that was a good philosophy, and for about the last 15 years, I've tended to use that one. So as long as I'm happy, I'm really not bothered about what anybody else does or doesn't earn, or how they make money or how much money they make. I mean, yes, I'd love to have 200 billion in the bank and be able to buy football clubs and do what I wanted in life. But beyond that highly excessive and unlikely amount, as long as I'm happy, then I really don't mind if someone else is earning more than me and is happier. Well, I say happier, they're earning more than me and can get different stuff and better stuff than me. As long as I'm happy with what I've got, then what difference does anything else make? Other people or the actions of other people, unless they're directly aimed at you, shouldn't really affect your happiness. And I always thought that was a wonderful way of looking at the world. It took me a while to embrace it, but okay. And here we go, back with the quest. Shibata, the signal is getting stronger. Can you pick the lock, old timer? No problem. Give me a second. There, the door is unlocked. Let's nab these punks. Freeze! Dang it, it's empty. Of course it's empty. They're hackers. They're not going to be at the same location the signal's coming from. Oh, boy. Dang it, it's empty. This laptop has a note on it. It says to turn it on. There's probably a message from Thornweaver on it. We should take this back to the Bureau and get our team on it. Okay. Now I'm going to make a stop at Taipei. Okay, that's definitely going to be in the next episode. Because Taipei is on the other side of China. However, whilst I'm here, all this origami I've been picking up has allowed me to complete the resource demand. Thanks for helping us out with meeting our resource demand. As a token of appreciation, here's 3,000 gold. That's very kind of you. Okay, so I'll pick up some other bits of cargo. I probably could use the pears, but I can't remember where the pears are actually necessary. Okay. Well, as I say, Taipei is all the way over there, so I'm not going to get there in this episode. I am, however, I will set the next destination down that general direction. So I'm headed towards here so I can do a load more cargo stuff, earn a load more money before I go on to Taipei. Because why not? I'm wandering around China. I might as well continue wandering around China for now. Well, getting closer to the end of finding out the hacker, or finding the hackers. Now we know what the hacker's agenda is supposedly about. And we'll see if Okada and his girlfriend disappear off happily into the sunset. As always, I hope you enjoyed. I'll at least put up with my philosophical musings about life in general as I took that long trip across China. And hopefully I'll see you down the track for more tiny rails in the future. Cheerio!